how we want it to read. Okay, this is gonna get a little bit technical, but I want you guys to hang in with me, okay? This is something called the triangle method, and this is something that I came up with 5 years ago, and it helps a lot of students think about their college admissions essay. So on the left side of your screen, you see a upside down triangle. This is how academic papers are written. So a paper that you write for your science class or your English class, most of the time the teacher wants you to write in this format, which is tell us your thesis statement, tell us your hypothesis, and then explain to us why you think that, right? And at the end, have a conclusion saying, that's why I think it. So for instance, I think the sky is blue. And then you have all these bodies about the sky is blue because blah, 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 blah. My second point, the sky is blue because da, 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 da. Third point, right? You guys are familiar with this model. Um, at the end, though, you are supposed to wrap it all up. The sky is blue because point one, point two, point three, point four, thus the sky is blue, right? You guys are familiar with that structure. Yes. Perfect. So for your college essay, we don't want to use the upside down triangle, actually. We want to have the opposite. We want to have a right side up triangle. We want you to start with something really small or something really shocking or something really crazy and outlandish. That's your hook. And then we want you to take us through the story, the narrative, give us details around it. And then at the end, it's this big realization moment where you're like, whoa, what? No way. That was the coolest essay I've ever read. I had no idea. So, just so you guys know, the triangle on the right side of the screen is actually how most movies, books, TV shows are written. This is something that you guys are really used to. It's things that we get hooked to, right? So like Vampire Diaries, TV shows, your favorite movie. You get hooked in the beginning, you want to know what happens, so you keep watching the show, and at the end, the like whole thing it makes sense, right? That's what we want um your college essay to be like. We want to hook the reader in the beginning, give them some details, but don't tell them the answer. Don't give them the answer yet. And then at the end, we give them the answer. Okay. So I know this is a little bit complicated of a concept because it makes sense right now, but it's hard to translate this into a college essay. Like I'm sure most of you are like, okay, it makes sense, but how do I like make this happen? So I'm going to walk you through some examples. Okay. Um, Okay, let's do an example. Okay, this is an essay I actually received, and she did an amazing job at the upside down or right side up triangle. This was her hook. You guys ready? When I was 14 years old, I became a grandmother. This is how she started her college essay. Crazy. How many of you right now in the chat are hooked? You want to keep reading this essay? Put yes in the chat if you want to keep reading this essay right away. Yeah, great hook. Great hook. Immediately off the bat, it stands out from all the rest of the papers I'm seeing, right? When I'm reading all of your essays and I'm like, whoa, this one. Wait a minute, I want to read this one, right? That's what we want, okay? So let's dive into this. She starts the essay with, I was a grandmother at 14 years old. Okay, we're all like, what's going on? Now, when she starts writing her essay, do you think she tells us the answer right away? No, because why would we keep reading? As soon as she tells us the answer, our attention is lost. We're like, okay, she got a good hook, but next sentence she tells us the answer. Do we really need to keep reading, right? So what does she do? In her entire rest of her essay, she's telling us about how she took care of her granddaughter. She's walking us through her day of her feeding her kid, of her giving it milk, of her taking it out on walks, of her like bringing it to the playground, right? And we're sitting here still the whole time so confused. What is she talking about? How does this make any sense? You guys ready for the end where it's revealed? She was talking about her dolls the whole time. She had a vivid imagination and creativity that she pretended when she was little that her baby doll had a baby doll. And so she was the grandmother. And she made up this whole world um, that reflected her life in this story of her playing dolls. And at the end, it all made sense. And you know what? When we're reading this essay and we're thinking about it, and at the end, when you put this paper down, there weren't a lot of moments in this essay where she's telling us, like, yeah, in the future, I really want to go to medical school and I want to take care of people like my baby dolls and blah, 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 blah. That's what a lot of you guys, how you guys write your college essays. We don't want to tell them the answer. The best way to convey what you want in a college essay from like a university or why you want to go there or your personality is to show us. Show us and let us infer it a lot of the time. So there are points, there's caveats to this. I do want you to tell us some things, right? So the whole thing shouldn't be too metaphoric, but most of the time you guys over tell us. You tell us too much so that we're like, okay, got it, got it. But we don't really believe it. When you show us, it's like when people say like I believe actions, not words. That's kind of what we want you to do here is like show us the personality trait, the thing you want to convey, and then at the end you can kind of tell us the answer and we're way more likely to believe you because you've showed us this narrative and now we're hooked. We're hooked to the story. So I hope that makes sense. Let's do a few more examples. This is an example of like what you wouldn't do, what most of you have been doing in the essays I've been reading recently. So when I was little, I used to pretend I was a grandma with my baby dolls. She tells us the answer right away, right? This is how a lot of y'all's essays are starting. Right off the bat, it's cute. I'll keep reading it, but like I'm not that intrigued, right? It's just like a lot of people played with baby dolls when they were little. You learn about how you played with baby dolls. And at the end, that's why I want to get into medicine, right? I want to take care of people. You go a step further and like tell us why. How many of you think your essay right now, and it's totally okay, because before I learned all this, my essay was like this. A lot of people's essays are like this at first. How many of you guys think your essay is structured like an upside down triangle instead of an upright triangle? Okay. Yeah, and it's totally fine if it's like this. This is why we do these so that you guys can understand. Yep. Okay, yeah, most of you. Yep, that's normal. That's normal. So how do we fix it? Again, starting with a compelling hook, build up the mystery, really want to know the answer, and then at the end, you give us that answer. So let's do one more example. This is like for a movie, right? This is how most movies are made. This is like what plot creation is. For instance, like the movie Clue, a murder happens, right? We're trying to figure out who the murderer is. We find out who the murderer is, right? This is kind of what we want to build, okay, around your college essay. So if you right now you think you have a really good topic, you have a really good storyline, you have a really good theme, that's fine. If you have it structured in an upside down triangle, there's ways that we can help you flip it so that it's more engaging. So you don't necessarily have to start over, but we just need to flip the structure to make it more exciting and engaging and make the admissions reader through the pile go, oh, this one is really cool. Okay. All right. I'm going to move on from triangle method. Any other questions here? No? Okay. I'm gonna pause before we go to this one actually. really quick, I'm gonna launch another poll. What do you guys feel like right now you think you need the most help with? Okay. We've got college essays, building a college list, high school activities, filling out the FAFSA, and scholarships. And if you're watching on TikTok Live, put in the comments below college essays, college list, activities, or financial aid. Okay, great. Just a few more we're waiting on. Awesome. Okay, great, guys. Over 70% of you said the college essay, and that again is pretty normal. A lot of you are seniors, so that makes sense. Your college ups are due soon. Okay, so one more poll before we start this slide. Let me go back and stop this other one. Can you guys see this, still see the same poll? This is like our first time doing a, yeah, okay. Let me figure out how to turn that off. Okay, I think it should go now. Okay, launching a new poll. What's a bad essay topic that you know about? And don't cheat. There's one on the screen. Don't put that one. Tell me some more. Tell me some more that you guys know. Yeah. And unfortunately, I don't really know how to look at these right now, but we'll look at them after and we'll share them with you.
I
Um,
can pull them up, Soph, if you want,
yeah, that'd
once
be
you end it.
okay. Okay, great. Okay, we've got 15 out of 32 replied. Um, no cheating, no looking on ChatGPT, no looking at Safari. Give us your honest opinion. Okay. Okay, great. I'm gonna end the poll. Um, okay. I cannot. I have no idea if you guys can see the results or not, but I'm gonna stop sharing. Okay. All right. Let's get back to this. So, um, let's talk. This is a topic that you guys always want to know. Like, what is a bad topic to write about? So, we try and cover it a lot because I know a lot of you are stressed about it. Um, let's start with a few of the common ones that you can find. They're everywhere, online, everywhere. All these are online. Bad essay topics. Now, I want you guys to understand one thing before we go into this. This is your college essay. That's the coolest thing about this. This is your college essay. So you are the owner of it. You're not reporting it or you're not getting a grade on it. Yes, you are trying to get into school with it. But you can really write about whatever you would like. Honestly, you can write about whatever you would like. The only reason that we're putting this list up here, the only reason why admissions officers and college counselors advise you guys not to write about these things is because we've seen it over and over and over again. And we've talked to admissions counselors and they've seen it over and over and over again. And at a certain point, these topics just get too repeated or they're not helping you. So that's the only reason we tell you this stuff. But I get a lot of, emails like, I really want to write about it though. Do it. Like there is nothing wrong with you writing an essay on one of these topics, okay? This is your essay. You need to write about what you would like to write about, and you need to feel good about it. Okay, so I want to say that before we get into this. The first one, sports injury. This one, the main reason why it's a bad topic is because it's too common. This one is like every other person is writing this essay. It's like I played, lacrosse, and then I unfortunately got injured in our like star game and I had to sit out and it was really hard for me, but I overcame that and now I'm, you know, better for it. I'm more motivated. I'm going to be a good student because I'm a leader. That essay we've seen a lot. It's the same structure. And at this point, because it's been repeated so much, it's hard for us to like really get anything new about who you are. So how do we fix it? If you don't want to start over, because at this point I'm very cognizant of the fact that you guys have got like 10 days if you're applying early action. Um, and you need to keep the topic. Let's figure out a way to make it more interesting. Okay. One of the ways that I've suggested a lot of you kind of make it more interesting, again, if you want to keep the topic, is to focus your essay around something small instead of telling us the whole big story. So instead of focusing your essay on the sports injury, how you overcame it, all this stuff, can you pick something small? Like a sound from the game. You're like a song that you listen to that hypes you up before every game. Um, and also, by the way, I've started telling students this when I say to find something small, a good way of thinking of things is use like the five senses. So that's why I'm starting with sound. Smell, like what did the game smell like? The fresh cut grass. Like you write an essay about the smell of grass, and then, oh yeah, by the way, I got injured. You know what I mean? This just makes it a little bit more interesting, and creative and has a creative spin on it. A lot of people use the metaphors to tie it back to themselves. That even now, last year I would have said that was a super cool essay, and that even now is a little bit like now getting overused. So just try and think about how can I make this bigger picture essay about this whole big thing that happened to me and boil it down into smaller details or focus on a moment, not the whole thing. In ninth grade, I started, then I became teammate, blah, 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 blah. Just tell us like the game or like even less than that, like the moment. And then like maybe like you flash back to when you were younger, right? And tell us about something when you were younger. Um, that's what I would do. Okay. If you really want to keep the sports injury topic, find something small and try and make it more interesting that way. Let's go to the next one. Activities essays. This one is tough. This advice that I'm about to give you is only for personal statement on your Common App. So if you guys are applying, like I saw a lot of Texas, if you're doing like apply Texas, if you're doing, I don't know if I saw any UCs. If you guys are doing California schools and you have the UCSAs, the PIQs, different story. Ignore this advice. This is for the personal statement on Common App, which most of you will probably have to do. Okay. This advice is that I would prefer if you didn't write your personal statement essay about an activity that's listed on your activity section. So what do I mean by that? If you wrote your personal statement about starting a charity and starting a charity is on your activities list, prefer that you didn't write about that. I know this is like kind of a controversial one. Why? Because we're double dipping. They're going to see that in the activity section. Like, I know a lot of you want to expand upon it and talk about that experience, but there's so much more to you. We want the personal statement. We want to learn about your personality. What makes you excited to get out of bed? Oh my God, something in our office is like falling down. What gets you excited to get out of bed? What are you passionate about, right? Things like that. We want to learn about you. We want to hear your diary entry. We want to feel like we're one of your friends. We want to hear personal childhood stories. We want to hear about the one time you threw a temper tantrum in fifth grade, right? Things like that. Now, why do I say this too? Because activities are awesome topics for your supplements. So the smaller essays that you have to write, this is perfect. This is where you want your activities to live. So I would recommend main essay, if you can, write about something that's not double dipping into your activities section. If and then use it in a supplement. Okay. This one, definite. Writing about other people. So the essay has to be about you. A lot of you, this is a big mistake. You write an essay about how much I love Taylor Swift, or about my parents' divorce, or about being a twin, or about my cousin, blah blah blah, or about my grandmother. They're not applying to college. We don't need to learn about them. We want to learn about you. So if you spend half the essay talking about my parents, this and that, my grandmother is such a big influence on me. These are awesome essays. Save them, keep them, and send them in a letter to these people. That's awesome. What did we learn about you in this? Right? Other than you love this person. Not a good topic. I see in the comments, what about friendship? Again, not about you. You can talk about friendship, but it needs to center around you. Like if you're talking about your friend, mm, they're not applying to college, you are. Um, Again, topics I consider like 80% of your essay. You can mention a parent or a sibling or a celebrity or someone else in your essay, but max like 3, 4 sentences. Like we don't need more than that. Because then the essay is like not about you. Immigration, this mainly, just so you guys know, has to do with the topic above. So it has to do with two things, why we list this. Topic number one is a lot of times it's y'all's parents or grandparents or someone else that immigrated to the US. So you end up writing a story about them. The second reason why is that it's common. It's like pretty common essay. So we tell students that, just so you know, you're welcome to write about it. The ones we do really like to see though about immigration are essays where again you focus on something small. So like pick a word, if you're from a country that speaks another language, pick a word in your native language and talk to us about it and what that word means to you, right? Or um bring something up about a food item or something like that. Like that those are better than just a whole narrative about it. Mission trip, I'm sure you guys have seen this online. If you did a mission trip and tell us the whole story about it and how it changed your life, we've seen it a lot. So see if we can find something else to write about there. Again, you could try and use the small thing and do something like the grandmother story, right? This last one I'm still iffy on, but overcoming mental and physical health challenges. Um, we typically want to put forth to the admissions officer like a very positive story if we can. So this has more to do with like the mental health challenges that we've seen a lot of recently. Um, think about like if you were at a job interview, right? This is a good way to think about it. Is this something that you would tell them in a job interview? Is this something that you would bring up if you're sitting at the other side of the desk to a job interviewer? Would you tell them this story? If yes, then do it. Tell us. If it's no, then maybe don't. Okay. That's kind of where the line is. I would say the line is. You can also easily flip the script on some of these things. So, for instance, I had a student with severe dyslexia, and she was like, I really want to write about this. It's been something that, like, obviously has changed my life. And I said, what if, and she told me, she's like, it's so funny though, I'm really good with numbers. And I said, can we write an essay about how amazing you are with numbers and mention that you have dyslexia, but that you're so good at numbers? And we kind of flipped the script and the essay was incredible. It was like one of my favorite essays I've ever read. So there's other ways to do it too. Like maybe if you're struggling with one thing, but then that means you're really good at another, you could write about the thing that you're really good about and mention the thing that you're not so good about. That's like one way. Um, okay. Let me pause there and see if there's any questions. What if you're worried your shocking idea might come off as weird? Um, yeah, that's a good question. Um, it's hard for me to know without knowing what your idea is. The main ones I would say stay away from. If it's anything inappropriate, like I mean, you guys know inappropriate topics, like stay away from that. Obviously, anything illegal, stay away from that. Like stay away from like stealing, lying, like those kinds of things. But other than that, and any so graphic, inappropriate, and illegal, stay away from those three. Other than that, you should be fine. Weird is okay. Like we can be weird. Um, okay. All right, let's keep moving. So, editing and revising. For those of you that have finished your essay, oh yeah, politics I see in the chat. No politics. This is a big one. Everyone write this down. No politics. I would not write about like social justice or like anything that religion, if you can, all of these things. The only reason why I know that you're like really passionate about these things, but you don't know what the viewpoint is of the person who's reading it. So even things that you think might not be controversial, you have no idea what the person reading it is going to think about it. So you don't want them to be like I had a student write an essay about like being an atheist, and I told her we should change it because what if the person on the other side is like really religious? You don't want them to have a bias when they're deciding if they should admit you or not. You shouldn't get denied for that, right? So, that's one thing I would say there. All right, let's go into editing and revising. So, I have three checks for you. And if you guys aren't taking notes, this is like where I would really take notes. Three checks before you submit your essay. Three. If you do these three and you pass these three tests, you're on the right track. Okay. Check number one. Are you the only person that could have written this essay? And I know that sounds absurd when I say that. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm not that unique. I hear that a lot from you guys. I'm not that unique. Stop it. You are. You are. There's only one of you in the world. Are you the only person that could have written this essay? And I know that's really difficult to figure out. So I'm going to give you an example and you're going to see it. The reason how we fix this is throwing in really specific details. So oftentimes when you guys get to your like almost final draft, what I'll have my students do is I'll put them through this exercise. I'll look at their essay and I say, all right, I don't want you to care. I don't care about word count. I don't care that you're going to go way over word count with this exercise, but I want you to over detail this essay to the max. I want you to throw in so many details. It's like disgusting to read. Like disgusting. And then we will go back through and like trim 97% of them. But the ones that we keep, y'all, these details make the essay. They make the essay because I'm reading and I'm like, this is so unique. I had no idea, right? There's no one else in the world that could have written this. That's how you get to that. So let me give you an example because I know that's like really hard to understand. So on the left side of the screen, you'll see text. It says, when I was young, I used to play with Lego. The pieces would all click together and I would smile at what I created. Put in the chat right now if you used to play with Legos when you were little or you've ever like played with a Lego set. Yes. Okay. And I'm sure a lot of you would agree with the all click together, smile at what I created component, right? This is an essay that all of us in this room right now could have written. This is not an essay or a snippet of an essay that only this person could have written. This is a universal experience. We all get excited when we play Legos, or a lot of us do, right? So how do we fix it? We add details. So let's look at the right side of the screen now. At 7 years old, I got my first Harry Potter Lego set. So pause there. Now we've reduced the amount of people that could have written this essay by a lot. There's still a lot of people that probably got a Harry Potter set at 7 years old, and it was probably their first set, but we've just reduced it by a lot by adding details. Okay. Let's keep going. In my red striped pajamas, sitting on my mother's outrageous purple couch, pause. Okay, whoa, we just got a lot more specific. We're getting way, way closer to it being about like one person. I would carefully kick together the pieces, fascinated by Hogwarts' structure and design. So this is just 2 sentences of an essay, but already those 2 sentences have gotten us so much more closer or so much closer to passing check one, which is, are you the only person that could have written this essay? Does that make sense to you guys? Put in the comments if that makes sense. Okay, great, great. Yay, I'm glad this is making sense. Let's go to check number two. Check number two. Are we learning something about you in a subtle way? Or are you kind of just telling us what you want us to know? Okay, so here's the example. I always really enjoyed science class. My favorite memory is dissecting a frog, which is why I want to be a surgeon. So she literally told us, I like science class. My favorite memory is dissecting a frog, and I want to be a surgeon. She gave us all three of the answers right away. So we're kind of like, okay, cool, cool girl. That's great. What do you want me to say, right? Now, I'm going to show you this example, and it's going to make you want to read this essay a lot more. Okay. AP Biology, period. Class period A, period. Dissection day. I took a few laps around the classroom to withhold my excitement. When Miss Andrews passed around the scalpel, I took in a deep breath. This was it. So she's showing us, she's bringing us into the room. We're feeling her excitement. We're feeling how excited she is about this moment. She doesn't even really need to tell us that she wants to be a surgeon. It's kind of random. It's kind of thrown in. We don't need to know that right now. But she's bringing us into those emotions. And so we're learning about her in that subtle way. She's not just telling us the answer. Kind of goes back to the triangle theory, right? Okay, put yes in the comments if that made sense to you. Great. Okay. Editing and revising check number 3. Does this essay actually sound like you? Let's be real with ourselves. Does it actually sound like you? I don't even want to read you this second. It's so hard to read. I'll read you the first sentence. Understanding the complexities of human behavior requires examining the ideas that shape our society. You guys would be surprised. I've read a lot of college essays that you guys have submitted to me that sound like that. When an admissions officer sees that, they're going to laugh. They're going to be like, no way. You don't talk like this in normal life. This isn't a science paper. This isn't an English paper. I know y'all write your English papers like this and your science papers. So we don't want it to sound like this. We want it to sound like you. Okay. So this on the side is completely acceptable for you to write your college essay sounding like this. This girl was rude, plain and simple. But knowing that Mr. Sniffles was at the vet and understanding that the show must go on, I decided to put on the hat and walk on stage as her role. That is completely fine. I know a lot of you are like, what? I can't write that in a college essay. Yes, you can. That's totally fine. Okay. That's what a lot of the essays that we turn out sound like once we help our students edit them. Let's do another really quick poll. Do you feel like your essay sounds like a diary? Okay. And in the TikTok live, if you want to comment below, if you feel like your essay sounds like a diary, reply yes or no. Okay. This is an interesting, we have a closer split on this. A lot of you have said yes, some of you, more of you have said no, and an even amount have said I haven't started yet. I'll share those results with you now. That's good to hear. All right, one last poll. How far along are you right now with your essay? I'm curious. Okay. Okay. Perfect. This is great, guys. I'm gonna stop this, share the results with you all. All right. So let's see. We want to help you with your essay. We want to help you guys. I know a lot of you are stressed. So before you jump off, 'cause I'm not done yet, I do want to tell you a few things. Um, at the end of this Zoom call, and if you're on TikTok Live, um, you can DM us and we will send you the link. We're gonna send out a survey. If it's gonna take you 2 minutes. If you fill out the survey, I'm giving away a free full application review from me. I will fully review your college essays, your activity list. I mean, I will do a full review. Take me a few hours, but I'm gonna do it for one of you, okay? To enter to win that, you need to finish the survey and submit it for us, okay? So if you're interested in that, you'll get the link to the survey after the Zoom call ends. I just wanted to say that because I know some of you guys get anxious. Um, we want to help you with your essay. We want to help you get to the point where you guys feel excited, not only to apply to your schools, but I want you to get to the point where we put your essay in a frame and we frame it on the wall, okay, in your room. That's what I want the essay to get to. So that's what we're aiming for. If you work with us, we will get your essay to that point. So exciting stuff. For those of you that said you finished your essay, we will edit it for you and return it to you in either 1 day or 3 days. You guys can decide. If you are interested in that, we're giving you this coupon code essay help. It's going to give you 15% off. It's already really cheap. But it's going to be even cheaper because you guys spent the time and came to the webinar. So take a picture of this slide. Essay help will give you 15% off if you want to meet one-on-one with a college student. So it's $35 for us to edit your essay fully, full edits, $35. Leah just posted the link, so you guys can sign up. We are happy to show you. I can take this slide deck down and I'll show you how to send us your essay. But yeah, you'll get 15% off. You can send us your essay. We will do a full-on review. It's not just like cross this out. It's like we'll dive into your sections and all that. If you want to work one-on-one with a college student and you're like, holy cow, I don't have my essay done yet. I'm really stressed out and I need way more help. Like, I can't just send a document. I need to like sit with someone on the phone and go through it and brainstorm and outline and think about how I want to start the essay with the triangle method. Start again, like I told you before, all of our mentors are trained in my method. They all know my essay method, which is what I just walked you through. So you're not going to get anyone that tells you different advice. They're all trained in my method. Hourly meetings, it's only $60 to meet with a student, okay? 15% off, it's going to be cheaper than that. It's essay help. So take a picture of this. I'm going to go to the next slide. We're going to go into Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to unmute or put them in the chat and I'll answer them. On your college essays, on the program itself, any questions that you have, this is your chance. You have my attention. How can I help you? And I'll give you guys a second to write your questions in the chat because I know a few of you are probably typing. But yeah, while So, $35 just for an essay review. I don't remember how much it is for the full application review, Leah. Maybe you can share that. Yeah, and also smaller essays are only $25. Just so you guys know, all the other services we've seen online are like $70 or like $100 for an essay review, and we're like, that's crazy. That's not really fair because you guys are applying to college and it's going to be expensive, so we don't want to rip you off, but we have to pay our team. Um, what if I'm trying to decide between two ways in my essay? Can I send you both for you to give me my thoughts? Oh yeah, they're only 150 words. Yeah, so you would have to submit two essays. So you would pay twice, but the it's gonna be the cheaper one, so it would only be $25 each. Um, how do I show personal growth if I don't think I've grown much? Um, you don't need to show personal growth. You really don't. A lot of you guys think your college essay has to be some like, again, going back to the triangle method where it's like, this is where I started and this is where I ended and this is why I'm a perfect candidate for your school. You don't need to do that. You can you can just write a fun childhood story about learning how to ride a bike. You can tell a story about trying to make brownies and you almost burned down the house. You saw that example about the girl playing with baby dolls. Like those aren't big picture stories. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. Is it okay if my main Common App college essay has an overarching theme but mentions something that one of my supplementals is all about? Yeah, I would try. It's okay if it mentions it, but just again, guys, be smart. Think strategically here. Every time you're repeating information in your application, it's wasted space that you could be talking about something else, right? So just think about that. Like you only have so much space. It's kind of like if you guys have ever had an open book test, right? And you get one card. You get one index card. I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about, but you get one index card and you can write all of your notes on that one index card, and that's all you can bring to the test. It would be like you guys writing the same equation over and over and over again on the index card. Like, why would you do that? Write it one time and use all the other space to fill in all the other stuff that you need to know for the test. Um, is it required to really write 650 words? What if it's 500 words but fully says the story? I bet you that there's more that we can add. I would not uh I would not give up 150 words. I know that you're saying you fully say the story, but does your essay pass the vibe check? Does it? Sorry, I was trying to go back to the checks. Does it pass the check of um that you are the only person that could have written this essay? I bet there's more details you can add. Any essay topics that are cliche to stay away from, we covered those earlier. I have a lot of videos on TikTok about it. Um, Sports injury, mission trip, talking about anyone else other than you. So celebrities, parents, siblings. You can see a full list on our website or even look it up. Will this Zoom meeting be available as a video to rewatch? We're gonna work on it, Jennifer, and see if we can make it available to you guys if that's of interest to you. Um, from TikTok, what are some of your favorite college essay topics that you've read about? Great question. The ones that I've read that I just are mind blown from and I still think about are the ones where the students, again, it's not even about topic. It could be about anything. Like, I honestly don't really care that much about topic. It's mainly how are you writing it? Are you being creative about how you're writing it? It's the essays where we're flipping back and forth and we have no idea where we are, or it surprises me. It has such a good hook, and I'm reading at the end. I'm like, whoa, that was so cool. Those are the essays that I always remember. Um, So that's what I would say. And that's easier for you guys because if I told you a topic that I really remembered, are you going to go copy them? Like, it's better for me to tell you that the essays that are with the triangle method and use all of the checks I've told you are the ones that stand out to me. This doesn't have to do with my essay, but if I start an activity this year, but I don't have many hours, can I put the intended amount of hours, weeks you plan on spending doing that activity? Um, yes, you can. You can. That's a yes. Do you think it's better to apply RD or EA? This is a loaded question. Depends on a lot of factors. So I can't give you an answer. It depends on the school you're applying to. It depends on your stats and stuff, where you're ranking in your high school class. If you guys didn't know this, you are competing most directly against the other kids at your high school. So if you and your best friend are trying to go to Yale and you're both applying early action and your best friend has a better application than you do, it's going to be tough. So, like in that situation, I would say apply regular decision. If you're talking like UF, FSU, you should apply early because those spots get taken. So it really depends. That's why I highly recommend talking to someone about that. Strategy really matters here. Um, okay. So the essay shouldn't focus on the way you got there, but the fact that you did, because in my essay, I didn't really get there till near the end. Um, I don't exactly know if I'm following that comment, Rita. I don't know if I'm following that question. Maybe you can comment again and with some more clarity. Would talking about a gas station or food item be a good hook? Yeah, that could be a good hook. I don't know how you're gonna phrase it though, so it's hard for me to say exactly. If through one of my activities I did a project really important, should I separate the two? I don't know if I can fit info. Yes, you can. If you don't have 10 activities already, you can separate. Um, can I put valedictorian awards even if other people are ranked one at my school? Um, that's an interesting one. I've never gotten that question before. In 5 years.
I think it depends on if they give you all that award or if you're just assuming that you're valedictorian because your guy's GPA maxes out at a certain place.
Okay. Is it okay to use a quote for the essay? It's not the main essay, but has to do with it. You guys can have quotes in your essays, but don't make the whole thing quotes because then it's like not your writing. Do you have a list of essays you really liked somewhere? Yes, I do. If you guys sign up for College Contact, you'll get access to my full repertoire of college essays that are Sophie approved that I really like. They're really great examples. Um, if you guys already have an account with us, it's in the My Materials section, just so you guys know. I'm applying to some UCs. Can I use the same structure of the triangle method with PIQs? Yeah, so yes, but you're going to do it at a way smaller, faster scale. You can have the hook. You can use the triangle method, but PIQs are a little bit different because we got to be a little bit more upfront because you don't have that many words, so you can't be too fluffy. PIQs are actually very difficult to master. They're very difficult. Honestly, sometimes they're more difficult than the personal statement. So you might want to work with us on that. How much does my essay have to do with my major? Guys, you don't need to tell us in your essay what you want to major in unless the question asks you. Personal statement, no. We don't need to know what you want to major in. You don't need to explain why you want to go to college. No, we don't need to know any of that. The only time when you tell us about your major is when you tell us in response to a question like in a supplement. Do you think if I choose a major that goes well according to my extracurriculars and essay, I would have a better chance of getting in? Um, yeah, this is a good question. The majors thing. It really depends on the school. Some schools, what major you select on the Common App really does matter. Other schools, they don't even look at it, if I'm being honest with you. So it's kind of a coin toss. I don't know, Leah, if you have any thoughts on that.
Sorry, I'm responding to TikTok. What was the question?
Oh, no, it's okay. I think it's fine. Um, I saw on TikTok 600 and okay, good. Leah replied to that. Do you think it's okay if you're using something related to your major? Okay, I just replied to that. You said that an essay on a paperclip would be a good 10 for a college topic. Would it be good to write about and compare yourself? I'm not sure what you're asking there, Emma. Maybe comment again. How can I write in my extracurricular? How can I write in my activity section that was part of a program, but not exactly a mentor? Um, it's on the screen. Uh, how can I write that was part of a program and not exactly a member? Oh, um, yeah, member is a really weak word. It depends on what you were doing. Like that one is really specific. I don't know what the activity is because I could give you an answer, but I would need to know what the activity is. No, all of you are asking about the major. Your essay does not need to correlate to the major that you want. Okay. Can our hook be a question to the reader? Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. Um, okay, I don't know, Leah, can you guys still see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna stop with the questions. I want to show you guys because a few of you have asked how you sign up on direct message to me. So you'll come to our website. This is our website. You'll come here to sign up. Click this button at the top. You're gonna say, I'm a high school student. You're gonna answer no. You're gonna put in your email, click submit, and it's going to send you an email. So I'm gonna log in really quick with my email. And I'm going to show you guys. Okay. So this is what it's going to look like when you log in. This is where you're going to be able to come in and see all of the college students that are available to you, which is really cool. So we've got 90 different schools 90 different schools on the platform, 250 majors. I mean, 250 mentors. Mentors. Jeez, I've been talking for too long. And they're all trained in my college essay method. So let's go to Charlotte, for instance. Charlotte goes to the University of Virginia. There she is. She got into all these schools. This is her bio. These are some things she likes to do. If I really like her, I can add her to my team. And I can even message her. I'll send her a message. Um, let's see. Hi, Charlotte. So you guys can text with them. You can text with the college students. That's free. If you want to book a meeting with them, you would just go back to your page and you can book a meeting whenever you're free and you guys can start working on your college apps. Um, so like she's free on Friday at 11 and I can book a meeting, click confirm, and I'll meet with her at 11 on Friday. If you guys want to send us your essay and you're done and you're ready to just get it reviewed, you come to this tab, documents, you tell us what the essay is, when you would like it to be returned to you. So 72 hours, that's like 3 days. I would like my essay to be reviewed. You put in your Google Doc link. You say, yep, it's for University of Virginia. Do I want a specific person to review it? I want Charlotte to review it. The prompt is blah, blah, blah. Copy the prompt. And then maybe leave a comment about some of your concerns or worries about the essay. and then click submit, and we will send back your essay fully edited. Okay.
Do you want to show them quickly where they can put the promo code? If you just click submit, it
Yeah.
should load that's just to make sure it's shared right. In the top left, okay, you are on a plan, so you have a discount. But where that little tag is, you'll be able to enter the code. She's
This
on.
is where you'll enter the code essay help, and you'll get 15% off. So y'all's essay will only cost $29 review. Um, okay, any other questions, guys? Before we log off, I gotta go get my doggy. It's been at home. Should I address? Yes, so a few of you asked about the recording. We're gonna try and get it to y'all. One last thing before we log off, just a reminder, if you guys will be sent a survey at the end of this. Again, if you fill out the survey, you will be entered to win a free complete activity review from me. That means your personal statement, your activity list, all your supplementals, I will review them for you for free. That's like a huge thing. So if you fill it out, you'll get entered to win. We will announce the winner tomorrow on Instagram, on our Instagram. Our Instagram is at College Contact. So you need to follow us to make sure you get notified that
And the
you.
survey is like 10 questions, and most of them are multiple choice or like your name.
Yep. Got it? Well, thank you guys. I hope that this was helpful. I really appreciate you guys spending time with us tonight. We are so blessed that we are able to help you all with through this process. We're excited to see where you guys end up going to school. It's going to be fun. You guys are all going to have great essays. So thank you. Thanks for joining. Glad to hear it was helpful, guys. Thank you. Bye.